I'm Hal Deily, and you're watching Snyder's Riders. I'm Hal Deily with Snyder's Riders. Today on our Fit Tips, we're going to be talking about what we can do to protect our hands and forearms and maintain good health in those extremities. Especially when we're riding, we're squeezing the brake, especially the clutch a lot, using the throttle. It's easy to cause some micro traumas, end up with either tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, or some pain or arthritis feelings in the hands. So today we're going to be taking a look at overall health of our hands and forearms. Now, one of the best tips I ever got was from one of our senior lead instructors at Staying Safe, Pete Tamlin, who told me, Hal, think of these as hand rests rather than hand grips. It's easy to start gripping these tighter and tighter, especially on challenging roads. We want to make sure we monitor our stress level in our body overall. Remember, it's a relaxed state of readiness with our riding posture, but especially here with the hands. So make sure once in a while, wiggle those fingers, loosen those elbows up, monitor that stress level so we can avoid traumatizing that area to begin with. Wrist curls, both reverse wrist curls shown here and regular wrist curls, are a great way to begin strengthening that forearm. Make sure you work both versions. Here I'm just using a light weight, the weight of a dumbbell bar. Work between 5 and 20 reps. As you will see, we're working on a balanced approach to our wrist and forearm health. Here, we're working wrist twists, or windshield wipers. These work our forearm pronators and supinators. It's an often overlooked area of development, but vital to our overall forearm and wrist health. Another oft-neglected exercise, what we call ups and downs. Here, we're working the wrist abductors, or radial deviation. Using a light weight, you're just going to move it up and down. Work both sides. On the back side, we're working the opposite motion, wrist adductors or ulnar deviation. Again, vital to our overall health of our forearm and wrists. Do is grab an exercise of any type. You can even be squeezing some type of ball. There's plenty of products out there, and we're just going to squeeze that in and out, controlling that motion. And again, you can buy various devices that give you different types of feedback, different type of resistance. Make sure you work both sides. If you're right-handed, you may want to put a few more reps in on that left hand. If you know you cramp up on one side or the other, make sure you're spending time addressing it on that side. And while strength is important when you're working the brake and the clutch, remember it's a repetitive movement over and over and over. Another exercise that we take from martial arts is we just stand there with the arms extended, and we're going to squeeze those hands, close those hands in and out as fast as we can. Seems simple, but even 30 seconds of this will really work that endurance of those muscles. So make sure you combine your strength training with some type of endurance training as well. One of the most overlooked portions of forearm training is working both ways. We do a lot of squeezing, a lot of flexion, especially when we're riding the motorcycle. What we're not working is the opposing muscle group or action, which is opening those fingers or extension. Now, there are products out there that go around each finger that you can work against. I tell people the simplest thing is a rubber band or something you would use to pull your hair back into a bun or a ponytail. And what I'm going to do is just place that around the fingers, either above or below those knuckles, and I'm just going to extend and close that slowly. 5, 10, up to 20 reps, depending on the level of resistance. I'm not trying to burn this out. I'm just trying to work those muscles in the opposite way. Needless to say, if you repeat on one side, you want to repeat on the other side. This is vital. Simple fix. When people come to me with tendonitis, whether it's tennis elbow or golfer's elbow, this is one of the first exercises I tell them to do. You can do this seated in your car, and obviously I like to keep that right around my wrist when I'm riding. When I get off the bike, I'll try to put in a few reps on both sides to counteract that before I go out on the bike again. Likewise important is flexibility. I go back to the active isolated stretching method, where based on the principle of reciprocal inhibition, if I fire one muscle group, the opposing muscle group must relax. That's how the body works. We're going to take advantage of that, and we're going to add a little resistance, a little extra oomph as we do it. So I'm going to extend the hand out, and I'm trying to work those fingers down. And then as I exhale, I add a little bit of extra stretch. And you'll feel this through the forearm. Out and stretch. So when I'm going here, these muscles have to relax because the opposite side is firing. And I go down. Remember, flexibility gains come small and they come slow. So gently add a little bit extra range of motion. Out and down and out and down. Repeat 5, 10, 15, up to 20 reps with that motion. Down. If you feel as if one arm is a little tighter than the other, I always try to do an extra 3 to 5 reps on that side that's showing that extra restriction. Here, and down, and here, and down. Now we can also work a little flexibility here with the thumb. I'm going to put my hand here and just gently down with the thumb. Bring it down and pull it in. Remember, be gentle with these movements. It's easy to strain the wrist even when you're trying to do good things for its overall health. So nice little here and down. I'm going to face straight on so you can see that position here. Hand, fingers, and just a gentle pull. Down, and just a gentle pull. Remember, we already worked that way. Now we're stretching in this position. Now the next stretch, I'm going to put my thumb on the inside and make a fist. I mainly want to be putting some pressure right on those knuckles. I'm going to roll that down, and using my palm, I'm going to put pressure right on those two knuckles. Again, now we're working on the top of that forearm. Hit, and release. Down, I'm going to face straight on, roll that down. Remember, pressure here with the palm as I exhale. Notice I'm only doing that additional stretch or that additional assistance through the length of my exhale. 2 to 3 seconds at most to get that stretch. So this next stretch is a little more advanced. I'm going to reach one hand over the other and interlace the fingers. And I'm going to turn that in toward me and out back. Bring it in and extend out. If I turn to the side, right hand is over my left here. Just go within your range of motion. And you can see that's working on a little bit of that twisting motion of the wrist. If I go with right hand over the left, I want to make sure I go the opposite. Lace the fingers together, out and back. Repeat 5, 10, up to 15 reps. If you're already recovering from an injury or suffer forearm pain, I highly suggest adding a little bit of tendon support. You can find these at any sporting goods store, and they will allow your tendons to heal while you work on recovery. As always, check with your physician or physical therapist for more information. So there you have it, a complete process to help those forearms and those grips. Again, feel free to modify or Google information on that to come up with your own exercise. The key is don't wait till your forearms or tendonitis become a problem before you begin to address it. Be proactive with your approach, and you'll always be one step ahead of the game.